Hello everyone, in another episode of Victoria Free Noob tutorial series and probably the last one. And I will explain why that's the last episode of that series. But before we do that, I'm gonna provide a quote, like always. And today's quote is: "The history of failure in war can almost be summed up in two words. Too late. General Douglas A. MacArthur." Awesome quote. So, let me jump straight into the game, and you can see that exclamation mark indicating that there is an incompatible version. And this is because they released DLC. National Awakening? Something like that. Okay, so the first reason why I will not continue with that series is pretty obvious, and probably you've already noticed something is wrong. So, to the southeast of the Frankfurt, or to the east of the Frankfurt, here we have Frankfurt. No, that's a Hesse. Okay, that's misleading. Here is Nassau. Where the hell is that? No, the Frankfurt is capital of Hesse. Either way. There is Sweden. Look at that. In the middle, or maybe not in the middle, but part of the Austrian territory belongs to Sweden now. Another thing, if you've noticed, there is a Prussian territory, or that's actually the Hohenzollern, but a German country. Look at the Switzerland, how it's weirdly divided now. We could assume that there was some kind of war, and I haven't noticed that, but this is not true. What else? We have Hanover splitted in such a weird manner, so we have Schleswig over there, and there is a territory of Hanover, which is, well, completely empty. Another thing, this is Norway over there, and over here. But there is also Russia and Norway. For some unknown reasons, basically, the summits of that, I don't know, mountain passage? Whatever. Mountains chain? Call it whatever you want. There is a Russian territory, of course. And here we have Denmark territory, Jutland. Well, pretty interesting, right? What else? There is also Krakow, which is divided, and some part of Krakow belongs to Krakow, and the other part belongs to Austria. And there is couple of different things, like for example, Serbia is split in a weird way, Wallachia as well, Moldavia same. There is also Austrian territory for some reasons. So yeah, basically Europe, mostly Europe. I assume that rest of the world looks just alright, unless there is something. No, Japan looks alright. Yeah, Europe, basically Europe. United States also looks completely fine. So that's the first reason. But there are also other reasons why I'm not going to continue playing that game, and of course continuing that series. So I have a few questions in my notepad. Yeah, I use state-of-the-art technology called Notepad. There are only 4 points, and I would like to start with the first one, which is who may like that game and whether it's good. So let's be honest. Just realized green territory looks weird. So basically, I believe that if someone is interested deeply into economics and politics, and also loves the setting of 19th and the beginning of 20th century, so basically everything after Napoleonic Wars. Also, well, that also includes First World War. Okay, never mind. But 19th century setting. If you are into that, then probably that game is really solid. I would debate whether it's better to play Victoria 3 or Victoria 2 for the same purpose. Maybe, I mean, people say that. I haven't played Victoria 2 for a long time. People say that Victoria 2 is actually more enjoyable than Victoria 3. I'm not gonna confirm that or deny that, but there's the thing. So people say that, people who played both, they try to defend Victoria 2 and blame Victoria 3 for lack of content, lack of flavor. And yeah, that's a serious problem. So as I've said, if you like economics and politics, go grab that game. I think you may have a great time playing it. Because I'm not really deep into both things, or, well, let's say differently. The main issue with that game is lack of flavor, and of course I've tried only Belgium, but I assume that we don't have so many countries comparing with Europa Universalis, for example, and still countries like Belgium, which are quite important in Europe, or Netherlands, same, they lack flavor. The only flavor is provided by the journal entries, which are in general, I would like to say meaningless, but people could argue that they are actually meaningful. For me, they are meaningless. I don't give a shit about those journal entries. They are also boring. They do not provide deep, interesting flavor in the path to follow. Same with nation formation, like two options, United Netherlands. Okay, yeah, I screwed up. Let's be honest, I screwed up. I should have united Netherlands and create United Netherlands Empire. Yeah, and then there's another option to form Central Europe. Okay, there are two options, understandable. But that's it. There are no missions. There's something potential, and you have like major situations. The Red Scare. Honestly, oh my god, sorry, I unpost. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's not a big deal. You can barely notice that something like that is in the background. You can avoid it easily. I think I avoided that, right, during the series, just by suppressing communists and labor movements, something like that. You have also decisions, and those decisions are okay. Now I'm pretty sure they are meaningless, like expedition to Congo River or Nile River. They are very generic. Most of the events related with both decisions are also very repeatable. So whenever you try to send someone for that expedition, and for example you fail and you try that expedition again, you will basically get the same events, and they can repeat, repeat, and repeat. I think I had an event with the crocodile, catching one of my, I don't know, adventurers, sailors, whatever. I think it happened a few times during one expedition, which is completely stupid. Let's be honest. And those events are boring as shit. I mean, this is my personal opinion. I'm not very objective. This is the subjective opinion. But from my perspective, they are just boring. And yes, I know people could argue now, bro. Really, do you read events? They are just for selecting one or the other option. Well, actually, I read them because for me, this is the vital part of that game, which is supposed to provide flavor. So yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem, at least for me. I know that a lot of people of Europa Universalis 4 or any other Paradox games, they don't give a shit about events. Let's be honest. They just check which option is better for them. And this is okay. But for me, I treat events as a part of flavor. I want to immerse into that world, and events are supposed to provide that immersion. And I think that Europa Universalis 5 actually is based heavily on events, which are supposed to immerse you into your country. Instead of missions, you have more focused and more, yeah, let's call it more flavored events. That's how I understand it from the content which is shared on YouTube by other content creators. So yeah, this is the problem for me. But okay, I've already said what I wanted. The second question is, how is the tutorial? Because that's the Noob and tutorial series. Let's be honest, tutorial is a dog shit. I think it has a decent start. It starts with very basic things like how to build, how to change the production methods, how to take care of productivity, the balance, how to manage the market somehow as well, I believe. So it has a decent start, and after a few journal entries related mostly with buildings, it's just like you just forget that it exists, that journal entries, or journal in general. There are some tasks which are part of the Learn the Game, which is a tutorial. Play a campaign guided by challenges that help you learn both how the game works and how to play it. And here we have, what we have here? Lobby appeasement, for example. That's the task. and you're supposed to increase the Belgian-British League appeasement. And it's like, really, I'm supposed to do that? Or they want you to change the law, but because laws are based on the laws you can actually select are based on what type of government you have. So if you decide, for example, as I did, to support industrialists and intelligentsia, then I wasn't able to select one of two potential laws to complete the journal entry. And it was like, yeah, well, I'm blocked now. I would need to again go back to the previous type of government, previous parties, and then I could progress with that task, which is kind of dog shit. I mean, it doesn't make any sense because it forces you to stick to one idea. So you cannot experiment. I think that if they are not if that journal is not supposed to guide you by hand, just you are following what they say. For example, like I think that's done in some way in Hearts of Iron 4, that you are supposed to follow certain objectives, and they give you freedom, like here in Victoria Free. Then it's possible that you are going to do something which is not according to the task provided in the journal, and then you are blocked. You cannot complete that task. This is kind of stupid. And also the other tasks which are provided in that journal, basically they are like, okay, you don't give a shit about them. They do not explain things well. For example, let's go to incorporate state. Okay, they say, tell me how. Yeah, I'm going to click here, state action. What we have here, change capital, move market capital, incorporate state. You click it, they explain it, and that's it. And then you basically have to rely on tooltips, which are, by the way, tooltips are solid. Let's be honest. For example, yeah, we look at the construction. Of course, yeah, that's gonna be hard to get in there. Yeah, we look at that. We are curious what buildings mean. We jump in, and basically everything's available at your hand, and this is awesome. I mean, we have same system in Crusader Kings 3, right? So this is awesome. That's something I miss in Stellaris, actually. I just don't want to search and provide the Wikipedia. I want to use tooltips, nested tooltips. They are awesome, and that's a huge kudos for Victoria 3 for that. This is good. But in general, my final assessment of tutorial, it's bad. It's really bad. It doesn't help you a lot at all. Beginning is good, but later it really doesn't matter. Of course, there is no tutorial whatsoever regarding military affairs, power block. I don't know. All other stuff. Also, I think that they are not explained well. Is there something else I would like to add about tutorial? Yeah, I think I learned much more from comments under episodes from that series. Yeah, people explained that much better, and I got better understanding. But I have to admit that a lot of stuff here regarding, for example, economics, buildings, whatever, is quite deep. So yeah, it requires a lot of attention, and I understand that tutorial wouldn't be enough to explain everything. This is obvious in grand strategy games, but still, it could do better job. I think if we assume that the tutorial, I mean, suggests playing as Belgium, it would be nice if they follow you through conquering Netherlands, creating United Netherlands, then colonizing, for example, Congo, which would be, I don't know, historically correct. I think Belgium had colonies somewhere there, as far as I remember. So yeah, they could do that, and I believe it wouldn't be too hard for them to script that. But yeah, they decided to approach it differently. Okay, so this is about tutorial. Next question is, why will I not play it anymore? And the main reason is that I'm the, let's say, military guy. I really like when military system is deep and there is a lot of action going on regarding military affairs. And in that game, military sucks terribly. First of all, let's start with the fact that there is nothing like military traditions or military experience, army traditions, whatever. So you can fight multiple wars. You can absolutely smash your enemies. You can attend every possible war around the globe, and it doesn't matter for you. I mean, it doesn't matter for your army because you will not get anything like experience. You will not buy doctrines or improve your army based on that experience. It doesn't really matter how much you fight, or at least that's my impression because I don't see such measures as army experience. So maybe it's somewhere hidden. I don't know. I don't see it. The only thing you can do actually is that to click on commander and promote him. And promotion means that they will receive more command limit, which means more units under their command, and interest group, political strength, and also the cost of bureaucracy. And you have also character traits. That's it. There is nothing else you can actually do, unless here we have modifiers. Let's see. Is there anything like experience? Nope, it's not. So yeah, you can have, I don't know, you can promote that guy multiple times, and he's like a god, military god, and it doesn't really matter because he will not fight better, which is quite surprising. Yeah. Then if you go to the army itself, there is also not so many options available. So you basically select different type of units available based on the technology researched. And there is one thing which is very annoying to me, that you are supposed to replace artillery with heavy tanks. It's a bullshit. I will not drag about it, but this is a bullshit. No one will ever replace artillery with any type of machinery, whether those are tanks, loitering munitions, drones, whatever. They will never replace artillery. Artillery is simply too good. It can evolve from tube artillery to rocket artillery, but also those are two different systems, and in general, I believe that artillery will be used, well, forever. I think so. Infinitely long. Even if you watch Star Wars, the Clone Wars, there is artillery still. So, even in Stellaris you have artillery. Come on. You will never replace that artillery with tanks. Not with heavy tanks. I just don't understand why it's not part of the cavalry. You have light tanks, and that should be the first tier, and then you should have heavy tanks as an upgrade. That would make much more sense. In that case, this is a bullshit. Let's be honest. Complete bullshit. Okay, that's it. That's what I wanted to say. Other than that, you have just basic statistics like offense, defense, manpower, morale, which is good, attrition, which is good, logistics as well, they are included, which is cool, and organization, which is also fine. Then you have mobilization, you have some traits available. This is alright, but it's just few of them, so it's also not very interesting to check. But this is decent. Let's say this is decent. It's nice. It's nice to have it. Buildings. Okay, there's Malin modifiers. It doesn't really matter. What else I would like to say? Okay, so there is one thing I remember. Let me go to technology, military technologies, and now you look at the technologies, right? And you are like, okay, I want to create serious army. The most modern army in 19th century. I want to be the lord of the armies. I want to be ahead of everyone. Okay, sure. What would you do? Okay, I see. Oh, rifling. So we will improve our muskets. Makes sense, right? Then you have repeaters, and you say, well, yeah, okay, repeaters. This is a good thing. So does it mean that I'm going to increase rate of fire of my troops? Well, actually, that's gonna be some type of game changer, not the Wunderwaffe, because there's nothing like Wunderwaffe. But definitely that's improvement. Maybe I will win war because of it. And let's be honest, that almost happened in 19th century, right? Wasn't that Prussian-Austrian War? the difference in, um, I think it was the difference in artillery pieces, but also in rifles. So the Austrians used the old type of artillery. Prussians had the newest invention, and yeah, they were able to dominate Austrians because of the technological head up. So yeah, that happens. That really happens. So that's your way of thinking, right? I mean, that was my way of thinking. Okay, I say repairs. I could also read the description, but well, for me, it's like, okay, I see the description below. The repeater allows the firing of several cartridges in between reloading, which in turn leads to a greater rate of fire. Okay, so probably my offensive capabilities increase because I can fire quicker, which means I can pin down enemies, and when I can pin them down, I can probably enable maneuver. Makes sense, right? Okay, we go further down the line. There is a hand-cranked machine gun. Okay, another improvement of rate of fire. Let's go. Civil War, yeah? Do you remember that? And then we have bolt action rifle. I mean, this is actually after repeaters. A bolt action rifle. Okay, this is another improvement. Look at the description. Bolt action rifle works by having a bolt which is manually manipulated to put the cartridge in or out of the rifle, which allows for a more reliable and powerful weapon. Yes, so we increase the rate of fire even more. Probably we also increase accuracy. Yeah, you see that. Then there is a machine gun. That's another improvement. Another increase in rate of fire. That's a game changer. And you know what? Well, game doesn't give a shit about it. Because it's not about what type of technology your units will be used. This is only for arms industries. Look at that. Unlocks bolt action rifles for arm industries. And you think, okay, I'm gonna produce better rifles, right? You go to the building tab. Okay, let's find it, where it is. We have arms industries, I'm sorry. And you click on it, boom. Yeah, I'm switching from repeating rifles to bolt action rifles. And look what is the difference. Basically, it's only a production of small arms. So it doesn't matter. I mean, you will produce more small arms, but it doesn't mean that your army will be better or fight better. You can still use muskets if you want and create massive amount of factories, and they will still fire the same rifle because no one implemented that difference between muskets, rifles, repeating rifles, or bolt action rifles. No one gave shit about it. No one. It doesn't matter on Battlefield which one you use. It's only about the production of them. The best technology means the more production. That's it. The only difference is that you actually can assign machine guns, yeah? Here we have it. Support equipment, machine guns, okay. It increases offense and defense. Fair enough. But that's it. It doesn't matter whether you still have muskets or bolt action rifles. It doesn't matter. And this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. I've realized that after, well, probably, I don't know, like a few episodes ago, I think I've realized that. Oh no, actually, I've realized that yesterday, recording that episode, because I did that already, and that's the second or the third approach. Yeah, I've realized that yesterday. I still wanted to continue that series even with those changes, but the game crashed. And then after that, I realized that, well, okay, I'm just gonna take a look at that, at different tabs, maybe for the summary of the series. And yeah, I was like, oh my god, this is really true. And this is really stupid. Also, there is technology. I think I've already mentioned that. Yeah, well, breech loading artillery. What's your impression on that? You are like, oh, okay, this is another improvement. We can fire more quickly. That makes sense, right? No, it doesn't make sense. It's only for the production methods. And look at that. By changing the design to load the shells from a port in the artillery, rather than down the barrel, it is possible to make a much more efficient weapons. Yeah, does it mean increasing rate of fire? Increasing offensive and defensive capabilities? Well, probably yes. No, it's not. This is not true at all. It's only for the production. You can produce more of them, but that's it. Isn't that stupid, guys? For me, it is. For me, it really is. Also, I don't get it. So we have we start a game in 1836, and there is a technology like line infantry, and I understand that some of the countries may not have it, line infantry. But come on, the line infantry, that's the 18th century idea, right? 18th century technology. Yeah, let's call it technology. Yeah, so why is there? It's honestly, is any of the country okay? Maybe countries in Africa will, nations in Africa will have to develop that. Okay, yeah, maybe that's why it's there. But for most of the countries in Europe, it just doesn't make any sense that it's still there. But okay, it is what it is. I will. It's not bad. Okay, that I'm too harsh right now. Um, what else? There is also, well, I've already mentioned that electric telegraph. Uh, what's your understanding of it? So my understanding is that you have electric telegraph, which means probably you can increase organization level of your army. You can speed up messaging on the battlefield, which is very crucial. Communication on battlefield is very important. Same as logistics. So you watch those technologies and you say, okay, let me think. I want my army to be invincible. Okay, so I need electric telegraph. That's gonna improve it tremendously. Look at the Wehrmacht of the Second World War. They relied heavily on radios, on communication. Communication is very important. So I go for electric telegraph. And what it does? Minus 25% war exhaustion. How does that correlate with war exhaustion? Because I don't think that mails from families will be sent to the soldiers via telegraph. And even if they do, for real, war exhaustion, it doesn't make sense. So basically, that game forces you to read the full description of it. Full description. And you read it and you are like, okay, I don't give a shit that this is the breach ordering artillery. I want to increase actually the effectiveness of my artillery. So I will skip on it because I don't need it. And I'm trying to find a technology which is called whatever, just to increase that. It may not be that breach loading artillery. It might be something different. So you rely again on pure sheer numbers. That's it. Not on the, well, so the numbers and the values that technology is supposed to give you are not correlated with the technology itself. So it breaks the immersion, at least for me. Maybe not for you, but for me this is actually too much. I would expect much more from that game. Yeah, and this is the main reason why I will not play that. First of all, this is the lack of flavor, which is quite obvious. I've already said that. And that's the another thing. Military affairs, which are absolutely terrible, in my opinion, in that game. And they are not worth considerations whatsoever. It's just bad. And same for technology tab. In military affairs, I don't give a shit about the production or society. It is what it is. Doesn't matter for me. But for military, it's crucial. And it's absolutely terrible. Also, look at that. That tree is so small. Look at that. There is so few technologies in general. So few of them. Nothing interesting, nothing special about them. You just click on them because you have to. And also some of them are discovered by sharing with different countries. So that's another thing, which is like, oh, I got the free technology. Woohoo! Awesome. Yeah, let's go. Who cares what kind of technology? Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad. Maybe I'm too harsh, but this is my impression of it. Okay, that was actually the fourth point, which is my biggest problems, especially in military. And I think that would be it. I just don't want to continue on that because it doesn't make much sense to me. I will just repeat. If you are into economics and politics, you like 19th century, go for it. You will probably like that game. I'm pretty sure about it. It's still it. By the way, game looks beautifully. I mean, I love that map. I mean, I love. This is a good map. It looks really nice. I couldn't complain on it at all because it looks decent. Let's be honest. But in general, I think this is, as I've said, this is a decent game for fans of economics and buildings, trade, politics of 19th century. Sure. There's one. Just realized there's one more problem. I feel like AI is a little bit too passive. In 19th century, we had a few decent conflicts: Prussia against Austria, Prussia against France, France against Austria. For example, Battle of Solferino. What other battle? Battle of Sedan was also in 19th century. Prussia and France. I might be wrong right now. We need to recall it, but yeah, the France against Austria and Battle of Solferino. I'm pretty sure that was the middle of 19th century. So yeah, quite a few decent conflicts. Come on, just realized Crimean War, which took place also over here in Wallachia, but then on Crimean Peninsula. Yeah, so a few large conflicts. Russian-Japanese war as well? Probably. And while playing that game, I barely noticed any massive conflicts. We had one, Prussia against Austria, that happened. But later, well, only some minor conflicts, and mostly these were revolts. So yeah, proletariat revolts, and that's it. And the very small conflicts, meaningless in most cases. Usually the revolt side lost that war, so yeah, they didn't matter at all, unfortunately. That's sad. So yeah, that's another thing I've just realized. Yeah, so that's my opinion. I'm gonna continue on that anymore. I will not play that game for sure. Maybe something will change sooner or later, but now I will just stick to Crusader Kings 3, Stellaris, Imperator Rome, and also looking forward to Europa Universalis 5. And I believe that I'm pretty sure Europa Universalis 5 will be much better game in general, and I doubt that people will play Victoria 3 for a long time, since Europa Universalis 5 will easily beat that game. I'm pretty sure about that, honestly. Unless they rework the game and they do something spectacular, and people will come back to it. But for now, yeah, this is. I understand why people may like it, and why people play it, and why it has quite positive reviews on Steam. But this is not a game for me, unfortunately, because yeah, I really like that setting. 19th century, come on. It has so much potential in military affairs that it's sad we cannot actually live it. Let's say that. Okay, so I hope you like it, and hopefully see you in the next one. Of course, in other series. But before I finish, I will recall the quote from the very beginning, and the quote is: "The history of failure in war can almost be summed up in two words: too late." General Douglas A. MacArthur. And with that being said, once again, thank you very much, and see you next time. Goodbye.